Just thinking.
Professor. Hey, Professor. There are a lot of hardworking people here at the Academy, huh? Even Claude. He acts carefree, but secretly he's so serious. Everyone focuses on training without even needing to be told. Maybe they think, I must protect my friends, even if I have to risk my neck. Of course I'll try to protect them, but I don't understand why anyone would want to risk their life for someone else. When you die, no matter how you died, it's over. To me, it's more important to enjoy life. We only live once, after all. It's a waste to spend all your time working and being responsible, right? Well, no matter what people may think, I'm going to keep being me. So in our next battle, I'll support everyone from the sidelines. Aw, come on, please! How about I do something for you as a way of saying thanks? Oh, I know! I'll let you join me for dinner in the city. Two pretty ladies strolling around town. I'm sure someone will treat us. Okay, just think on it.
Professor. Great timing, Professor. I was just going to come find you. Are you busy? I have a question about formations. I don't understand them at all. Are the speed of battle and the terrain connected somehow? There's too much to memorize. I don't? Then what do I have to know? I think I understand the basics. To start, you just... Ah, okay. I think I've got it. Thanks for the help, Professor. Brains and brawn. You've really got it all. With your help, I should have no trouble becoming a proper knight. Huh? Didn't I tell you? My parents were merchants of the Alliance. They died in an accident. That's why it's up to me to look after my little sis. I'm not great with bookkeeping, so I don't think I'd make a good merchant. I talked to Grandpa, and he suggested I become a knight. So I sold all our valuables and used the money to pay my way into the academy. My sis won't survive if I get kicked out, so I can't give up now. I might have tried being a mercenary if I didn't have my little sis to look after. I probably shouldn't say this, but being a mercenary does sound like an easier life. Mercenaries have no responsibilities and no one else to worry about. But someone's got to take care of my little sis, so that's out of the question. Serving as a knight in a noble house is more secure, and you don't have to worry about dying unless there's a war. My sis has been through so much. I don't want her to have to worry about me. Hey, do you have any siblings, Professor? Then you probably think I'm missing out on my freedom, having to support her, huh? But working hard for my sister isn't too bad. Call it a burden, call it a challenge. If it makes my sister happy, I'm happy too. You should ask your father to have some more kids. Anyway, that's why I've got to become a proper knight.
But...
Hey, Teach, hold on a minute, okay? I'm gonna have this cleared up in no time. I came across a fascinating book about poisons, and so I wanted to try mixing one up myself. And done. What do you think of that, Teach? A colorless, odorless poison. Say, care to test it out for me? In 2 days' time, you'll have a terrible case of, let's call it stomach trouble. It's a peaceful poison, so you'll live, but you'll certainly be inconvenienced. I hear your silent question, Teach. Why the delay? That's so it can be used even if you don't have access to the target when you need the poison to take effect. Naturally, I have no immediate plans for this stuff. I suppose I just felt like broadening the old horizons a bit. When devising schemes, it's best to have as many options at your disposal as possible. Expanding those options is kind of a hobby for me. Well, I grew up in an environment where it was necessary to think that way. It's like I told you before, I wasn't born into a life of luxury. Ever since I was a child, I've always been seen as different from those around me. An outsider of sorts. I've been resented and hated. There have even been attempts on my life. I don't believe I've earned such treatment, but that's how it goes for people like me. Thanks, Teach. You know, in many ways, I'm just a normal person like everyone else. But in the right environment, anyone could be seen as an outsider. It can become overwhelming. And that's why I kept running, kept fighting. As a kid, I spent a lot of time licking my wounds and coming up with schemes, trying to keep my nose out of trouble while plotting against my enemies. My parents always told me I wouldn't grow stronger if I didn't learn to fight my own battles. And so in the end, I did. And I grew up to be as independent, as self-reliant as my parents always wished for me to be. Lucky me, right? If anyone knows what I'm talking about, it must be you, eh, Teach? I get the feeling you know what it's like to be an outsider. The moment I first laid eyes on you, I knew you weren't like everyone else. People don't care for folks like that. You do well to watch your back. On the bright side, that's also part of the reason that I find you so interesting.
Professor?
What's the latest, pal? Got any hot tips for making gold fast? Holst used to make me this tea all the time. Huh? Nothing. Forget it. Thanks. Smells pretty good. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. What do you know? You don't have any dice, do you? Or cards? If so, feeling lucky? Makes sense. Really? Nice brew. Must be my lucky day. Of course. That tea was delicious. Hey, think I can drink the next cup in one go?
Something appears to be wrong with my throat.
I hope this song reaches the goddess's ears. honored that you invited me. You know about my favorite tea. I am moved. I am ever so grateful. Delicious. Huh? Huh? Lively places are my favorite. I like the monastery because there are always so many people bustling about. You look odd today. Are you feeling all right? It is a different style from everyone's uniforms, but I do love the patterning on the hem. Huh? Wow, I am delighted! That tea was very delicious. Please take care, Professor.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm I'm fine. I just twisted my ankle.
Oh, that won't do. Come, take my hand. Let's get you to the infirmary.
Are you sure it's okay to be seen helping me?
Why would it not be?
I thought you only extended your kindness to the nobility.
Certainly not. To aid a commoner in need is the most noble endeavor of all. Not only that, but you were injured by my carelessness. It is doubly my duty to assist.
In that case, I'll gladly accept your offer.
Good. There does not appear to be any real swelling, so you should heal swiftly.
Thank you so much for escorting me.
Walking on it will still be unpleasant. Allow me to lend you my shoulder, at least as far as your room.
If you're still offering to help, then I can't say no.
There you are, safe and sound. I will take my leave.
Thank you again, Lorenz. You know, I think I've learned something about you.
What is that?
In truth, it's not that you only extend your kindness to noble women. It's that you can't even see us of lower birth.
Excuse me?
You and I have been together all this time, but never once did you look me in the eye.
I hadn't noticed. But you will have to excuse any perceived rudeness. As the heir to House Gloucester, I have a duty. I must ask you to forget about me. Farewell.
Forget about him? What could that possibly mean? The sun.
I stand ready.
Let's get to it. Leave it to me.
Ready anytime.
Thanks for that.
Who, me? Did the trick. Thanks.
Stay focused.
So this is what the goddess grants me. And yet, I still need to...
Appreciate it.
I did pretty well.
Was there any doubt?
Yeah! I passed!
I can't believe I did it.
Perfect comprehension.
Ah, shucks. I guess I did it.
All that hard work's paid off.
I passed! As I knew I would, of course.
Whew. Time to rest.
Hey, Raphael. This scene, why is it oddly familiar?
It's almost like this stuff is drawn to me whenever I'm in town. I'm just happy I can use my muscles to help out around here.
But isn't your goal to become a knight? Running errands isn't exactly a knight's job.
I heard that proper knights always help those in need. Isn't that right?
Well, you're not wrong, but I think most people would consider that only a small part of a knight's duty. A knight's main function is to fight and defend, don't you think? That said, I'll agree that helping anyone and everyone who needs it makes you a remarkably virtuous person, which is even better.
If someone virtuous becomes a knight, they'll be a virtuous knight, right? That's about as proper as you can get.
Yes, I suppose so. I, for one, would certainly look for virtue in any knight that I recruited.
So you're saying I'm the type of knight you'd want to hire for House Regan?
Absolutely. If I somehow actually manage to become the head of my house, that is. I can't see into the future, but you have my word that I'll do all I can to help make your dream a reality. That is, if you're actually able to let somebody help you out rather than helping out the whole world by yourself.
I'm not gonna stop helping others, but you can do me all the favors you want. All this talk of being proper is making me hungry. For my first favor, why don't you bring me a snack?
As you can see, if we were to face an enemy on this terrain, I would go here, and you would go here.
Hang on. If we're trying to repel the enemy, I should be positioned there, correct?
Huh? I'm not sure that's the best idea. Take a closer look at this map. See, there's a graveyard over here. Might run into some of those ghosts you hate so much.
Claude, will you knock it off already? So help me. If you continue treating me like a child, I'll...
Easy there. I'm sorry, okay? Just don't start blasting off any spells in here.
I've more pride than to turn an unarmed soldier to cinders. It wouldn't kill you to speak to me as an equal when we're discussing matters as serious as this.
Actually, I see you as more than an equal. There's no questioning the power you wield. And I was being serious about the formation just now. The bit about the ghosts was just me having fun with you. Or trying to. You're so smart, I figured you'd catch on to that right away. But back to the formation. Can you see why I arranged it like I did? The area I want you to guard requires the ability to adapt to an ever-changing situation. Who else could I trust with such a difficult task? You're my best bet for something like that.
Perhaps that's true.
Think back to the times we fought together. When have I ever treated you like a child on the battlefield? I depend on you, Lysithea. I value your power almost as much as I do Teach's.
Truly?
I swear to you on all of Fodlan, I'd like to have my fun, but I wouldn't joke about something like that. I consider you a valued ally. I'll stop now before I inevitably drift back into teasing you again. Just know that I meant every word, okay?
Fair enough then. From here forward, see to it that you treat me with the respect of an equal. And I admit that you are not short on talent yourself, but don't go getting a big head over it.
What are you writing there, Hilda? Wait, let me guess. You're replying to one of your brother's letters, right?
Of course. It's a pain, but I make sure to always send him a response, otherwise he'll worry. It's much easier than when we lived together. A few letters here and there are a small price to pay for this peaceful, brother-free environment.
Well, that's a fine thing to do regardless of your reasons. As for me, it's been far too long since I've written to my parents.
Oh, I thought your father had died.
Not quite. He's still alive and kicking, as far as I know. The late Duke who died in an accident was my uncle.
I see. I do recall you mentioning that your mother was born into the Regan family. What's your father like, if you don't mind me asking?
He's quite the extravagant character. When I was a kid, he used to tie me to a horse and drag me around.
Excuse me?
In all fairness, I was quite a little brat. The horse thing sounds worse than it is. There's sort of a trick to it.
A trick I hope I never need to learn. Your mother didn't step in and make him stop?
Gods no, she'd just laugh right along with him. If my father is extravagant, my mother's more like a warrior goddess, or maybe a demon queen. This one time, she got into an argument with my combat instructor and wound up in a full-on fist fight with the guy. What's more, she won. My instructor was a mighty warrior, undefeated in 100 battles, but even he was no match for her.
Huh? But your mother is a lady of nobility.
True, but she was the kind of woman to elope with the man she loved and throw it all away. Not your average duchess at all.
Ooh, they eloped! I like that. It's so romantic. Imagine abandoning your family forever to be with the one you love. Not everyone can do that.
It's not a question of can, it's a question of will. Even someone like you who generally despises effort would pull out all the stops for something you really care about. Isn't that right?
Excuse me? I put in plenty of effort.
Hey, that was a compliment. Anyhow, I look forward to the day when something inspires you to try your absolute hardest. It will be something to behold.
Claude,
What's on your mind, Ingrid?
Actually, if it's something troublesome, can it wait a bit? I am positively exhausted today, so I was gonna turn in early. Don't you try to stop me, you hear?
the sun just barely dipped below the horizon, yet you're already preparing for bed?
Rising with the dawn and setting with the sun. Isn't that how a life is meant to be lived?
I'm almost certain you have never been awake at sunrise, Claude.
And how would you know that? You haven't been peeking into my room every morning, right? I'll have you know I like to rise early for my daily meditation.
Uh-huh, sure. And I've decided to quit my pursuit of knighthood. At least try to make your excuses more believable. And that yawn just now. You didn't even bother covering your gaping mouth. One would never know you're of noble birth with how you conduct yourself.
You need to relax, Ingrid. Deep breaths, okay? A yawn can't hurt, I swear it. Really, you'd better get a hold on that attitude of yours. Otherwise, that pretty face is gonna get all twisted up with angry lines. Guys don't like gals who are always griping at them. Try a smile every now and then. Here, let's practice. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
You're actually telling me to smile more, aren't you? How common? Since you're so insistent upon telling me what my face should be doing, perhaps my blade can restructure your face with a more permanent smile. All jokes aside, are you not house leader? As a leader, you should set a shining example. A position such as yours comes with responsibilities. See that you consider them more carefully in the future.
Yeesh.
And just how long do you plan on lounging about yawning like a slob? At least lounge in your own quarters.
Okay.
Honestly, some people.
Wow, somebody needs to teach that girl to lighten up.
So hungry. I gotta eat something.
Again, Raphael? Here, perhaps this will suffice.
Really? I can have this? But don't you need to eat after all that training?
We can't have you starving, can we? Your strength is a great asset. It would be a terrible loss if you fell faint in battle. Besides, no true noble can look upon the hungry with indifference.
Seriously? Wow, that's awful generous of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But listen while you eat. I believe it would benefit you to pay more attention to the way you carry yourself in the company of your betters. It is the duty of the nobility to protect the common folk. And, in return, the commoner is expected to show deference and respect. Naturally, I understand that there is a certain tendency toward familiarity because we are classmates. However,
Oh, that was tasty.
Raphael, did you hear a word I just said?
Oh, hey! I sent my little sis some of that fancy treat you gave me a while back. She wrote back to say that it was tasty and to thank you. So thanks.
That is excellent news. I'm pleased to hear that you both enjoyed it. But there's no need for you to thank me. It was actually a gesture of gratitude in the other direction, from me to you. Thanks to the wisdom of your words, I have begun to consider my approach to dining in a completely new way. Mealtime has proven to be ideal for the study of character. It is a tool I intend to make great use of as the leader of the Alliance.
Yep. It's just like I told you. Food tastes better when you eat with good company.
That's not quite what I meant. No matter. You are satisfied, I trust?
I could probably keep eating, but I'm ready to train. All right. Time to get back to it so I can protect my buddy Lorenz.
I've not quite gotten through to you, have I? It is not the duty of a commoner to protect a noble. That is fundamentally against the order of society.
But if you hadn't given me food just now, I couldn't survive on the battlefield because I'd be too weak to train. Who'd take care of my little sis if I wasn't around? She'd probably end up starving to death as well. In a way, by feeding me, you're protecting her too.
It was only a little food. There's no need to get carried away.
You're a real decent noble, you know that? Worrying so much about my sister and all. All I gotta do is protect you. Then you protect everyone else, right?
I'm not certain your logic is sound, but your strength is undeniable. Very well. Do as you like. Dining certainly is a window to the soul. Eating with you has helped me to see that I've misjudged you. You're not some gluttonous simpleton. You are grateful for the protection the nobility offers, and eager to emulate our example. Ignatz, hello. What are you up to?
You frightened me.
Oh, calm yourself. What is it that you're drawing?
I thought I'd jot down some sketches of everyone while they're training. And then later on, I'll try to practice their moves on my own. But I can't really concentrate on sketching if someone's watching me.
Just sketches, Even so, they're lovely. There's such life in them. It's as if they're moving on the page before my very eyes.
You really think so? You know, I always hoped to be an artist.
With skills like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make a living of it. And your demeanor is different when you draw. Bolder somehow. Ah, yes, there's an idea. Perhaps in the future you will join my retinue as my personal painter. Wait, have we not discussed this arrangement already? I had decided to take you into my service as a knight, had I not?
Becoming a knight was my father's idea. Being an artist is out of the question, I'm afraid.
So you've said. Well then, I suppose you shall simply have to become a knight who also paints.
A knight who also paints?
I have seen your talent and can attest to it. Your gifts are too great to wither away in obscurity. A knight with the rare gift of artistic talent would be most welcome in my employ.
I had never thought of that. Still, I don't understand why you'd want me as one of your knights. As a fighter, I'm unremarkable.
There is more to knighthood than combat. Courtly manners, a dignified bearing, and an aesthetic sensibility are also essential. A knight with an eye for art and the talent to create it is sure to improve the image of the nobility.
Lorenz, I'd never have guessed you were prone to such eccentric ideas. Thank you. I'm feeling a little more confident after hearing your kind words.
Oh, no cause for thanks. It is a noble's duty to provide guidance to those in need. Hello, Leonie. Busy as usual, I see.
Yep, lots to do. Not like you fancy nobles. Hey, can't you see all this stuff I'm carrying? Come on, move over already.
Alas, I cannot comply with your request.
Can't even ask a noble to take a step to the side, huh? That's a joke, right? You're kidding.
You've injured your foot. I could tell immediately by the way you are favoring it.
What?
Heavy lifting will only worsen the injury. Please, permit me to examine it.
Hey, cut that out. Isn't that improper or something, bowing to a commoner?
I am not bowing to you. I am tending your wound.
That's not what it'll look like. Hey, it's fine. Leave it.
Easing the burdens of the common folk is a natural obligation of the nobility. Now hold still and keep quiet for a moment, if you would be so kind.
That's a real pretty way to talk about sitting around in castles doing nothing. Let me tell you, everyone in my village is so grateful to be taxed up to the eyeballs for the privilege of— Ow!
Oh, it's quite swollen. And you're feverish. Fortunately, I do have an ointment here that should be of use.
What? You just carry that stuff around with you?
Certainly. It won't do to be unprepared if I happen across someone in need.
I don't get you, Lorenz.
It seems I've neglected to pack bandages. I'm afraid this handkerchief will have to suffice.
What, that fancy thing? Bit of a waste, isn't it? Hey, no thanks. I don't need some noble's pity.
What about the help of a friend? I am as much that as I am a noble, if you recall.
More of your weird logic.
There, that should ease the pain. And since you are recovering, allow me to carry this burden for you as well. There we are. Now, farewell.
I really don't understand that guy. Oh no, I completely forgot to thank him.
To find the analog of your beauty in nature, I can turn only to the lily. Only that flower is so sweet and so delicate as to approach your loveliness. Why, just look at these soft, delicate fingertips you have. It is as though they could blossom into fragrant lilies before my very eyes.
If you're so wild about flowers, why don't you try a flower shop? Ugh.
Oh, wow. That was... I'm sorry I saw that, but I am so glad I saw that.
Oh, did you not realize? I was only testing her. Any woman who is taken in by such simple flattery is ill-suited to my noble disposition.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you explained it, because I thought you just got rejected. Just flat out, no way to make yourself feel better about it, rejected. And the reason, your nobleness, is because that is really not the way you go about hitting on a girl.
Oh, is it not? And I suppose you consider yourself an expert on the subject.
Pay attention, kid. Maybe you'll learn something. When I saw you, I just had to come over and say hello. Because finding you here feels like fate. Maybe we could go get some tea. Get to know each other better.
I think you must have mistaken me for someone else. Someone who cares. Please excuse me.
Exquisite. Simply masterful. When is the wedding?
That's weird. Girls usually fall for that speech. You must have spooked her.
To think that the noble House Gautier would be blessed with such a graceful and charming heir.
Please. I'm a much better heir than a self-important failure like you.
This is not worth my time.
You took the words right out of my mouth.